Hi Gayatri, you are doing a fantastic job on your project, and you are up to just kind of fine-tuning your details and just making sure you're adding in enough contrast to really get that pop. So I'm going to point out a couple of areas just to go through and add in, darken your shadows and add a little bit more detail. Okay, so your hair looks great. Moving down here, we need to get a little bit more shading in the eye. Okay, this shadow here is what's going to create that indent of the eye socket. So we need to make sure we're getting that. So you're gonna be using the compressed charcoal pencil. You're gonna come down here and you're just gonna very gently just let it graze the paper. And this shadow is gonna come up to the hairline. Okay. Now also through the hairline, you can see where the shape of the eyebrow is beneath the hair. So you want to get where that would be in there. Okay, so and then this hair I would bring it down a little bit closer to the eye, because yours is going, we have a bit of more of a gap here. So I would swoop this down, and that'll help add that darkness and kind of loosen up that edge of that hair there. And then just around the eye itself, you're going to add a little bit of shadow coming out here. So just a little bit there. Add a little bit of shadow underneath. Okay, looking in the eye, just a little bit of shadow. The lid's a little bit grayer. And then you can take and you can kind of just soften that up a little bit here. So just getting that little bit of shading within the white of the eye makes it feel a little less flat. And soften that up there. Okay, now if we also then look at the other eye, this darkness between the hair and the eye needs to be darker. So I think you could probably sweep. It would be helpful if you swept your hair down a little bit more here. And then that's going to transition right into the shadow that's going to very gently come off this eye. I see that you started to add that. We just need to go a little bit darker with that in there. Okay. Now in the lid, you see this area of brightness right there. So in order to have that little area be bright, everything else is going to need to darken just a little bit here. So that's going to fade to a much darker edge. Okay, and then the white of the eye is going to fade in. Add a little bit more shadow here. And then darken up this little bit of a crease here. Okay. You can kind of just dust that, soften that up, swoop that down. A little bit, tap that in there. Okay, and then from the eyebrow, you want to get this shadow. Again, this is going to define out the top of the nose, that little indent there. So I'm going to bring that over a little bit. And then I think we can darken and thicken up that eyebrow right here. Thick it up just a little bit. Okay. So then you get a little bit more definition into the eyes, a little bit more contrast, and those shadows add a little bit of elevation. Okay, so then coming down to the nose, you have beautiful soft shading on the nose. I'd look underneath the nose and the shadows that you started going for. We just want to darken those up. And everything that I'm saying is just super common. I think I've told almost everyone at some point when I've worked with them on this project that they need to darken up their shadows. Okay, it can be a little frightening to put dark on there, but we need that for that contrast so it doesn't feel like it's washed away. Okay, now we're going to soften that out. can add a little bit between the nostril and there. So I'm just gonna take and kind of push a little bit up to make a softer gray. Bring that there. And then on the eye, on the lips itself, the top left side just needs to go a little darker. We're losing it there. Where in your reference you really see that side. So just darken that up. Let this shadow hit a little bit more there. I'm gonna pull that down. Add a little bit. A little bit more there. Soften that up. Pull that down a little bit. Okay. And again, it's just getting them to pop a little bit more. Let's see right here, just a little bit. Okay, when we add the little bits, you're just, again, taking that pencil and sweeping the surface. Okay, we're not adding too much. We just want a little bit more of a hint there. Okay. So again, getting those lips to pop a little bit more. Now I'm looking back to what I just did below the nose, and I realize I need to bring that gray, kind of combine it together. A little bit more here. Okay, I'm gonna bring this shadow out a little bit. Right there. Okay. Okay, and then just continuing into the hand. You drew everything so lovely, but let's just get those shadows there. So in this area, this is gonna be pretty much pure black right under between the pinky and the ring finger. So just along that ring finger, get that darkness, and then we'll pull that over and pull that down just to darken up that crevice a little bit. And then go by finger. So this pinky has a little bit more of a shadow on that left side. So just soften that in there. Smooth that up. Okay, and that went a little dark, so I'm taking my kneaded eraser and just sweep on top of it. Okay. Okay, we want to get a little bit more shadow here between the pinky and the face. I'm just adding, because the face is slightly darker than that hand, kind of all around. So I'm just gently bring that out. Around that fingertip so we're not losing it. Okay, and then just super gentle. I'm just going to soften that out. Okay, and I don't want to see a line. I want to kind of soften that out a little bit more. So if you're seeing a line here, kind of work on fading that out a bit. And I'm just going a little bit quicker right now. And also this is printer paper. It's not as easy to work on with the charcoal as the paper that we're using for the project here. Okay, so that'll help separate there. But again, you can bring this darkness out into the face just a little bit more. Bring that out a little bit more. So it blends more into this color of the skin. Okay. And there's this little chin line coming out of here. Missed that. There's a lot of details that are easy to overlook here. Okay. That needs to darken in between. Okay. So then again, just looking at the hand, I would go finger by finger. This area here, we need just to darken this up a little bit more. And that's gonna come down the whole top of the hand, the top of the palm, is going to go a little bit darker. So just going to blend a little bit more charcoal onto there. This here, this is pretty black. If it's not black, it's very close to it. So you want to get that darkness in there. This knuckle has a little bit more separation there. Define out that fingertip into the hair here. Add a little bit of a shadow there. Get that knuckle. So it's just going finger by finger, adding those shadows in. Okay, and then the index finger here is almost fully in shadow, minus the highlight on the very end. Then go in and smooth that out. Now I'm kind of speeding through here. You'll go with a little bit more, a little bit slower with a kind of a more precise eye. To meet there. Okay, and if this is a hair, let's darken that up. Okay, blend that out, really soften that up. Okay, so again, we're just adding that extra level of contrast in the areas where we need it. So as you're going, really get that in there. And that's gonna add that pop to it. Okay, so then we have just the details of the sweater. You have the pieces here that are pure black. Good in there. And then on your, you just have to get these in there too. So just, again, super, super, super gentle. Get those curves. You can darken a little bit more in here. And then just working on, again, the knit of the sweater over there too. All right, but overall, really nice job. You're just up to darkening it all in and getting that pop, that just a little bit more contrast, make it a little bit more dramatic. So I hope this helps. Good luck and happy art making.